Hi, welcome back to another video on Hustle Castle. Um, this video, I'm gonna talk about the event that is happening on Hustle Castle. It's the Great Underwater Challenge, and I believe we are a week into the event now, and I believe some of you have gotten some of the items ready. But hey, I would encourage you strongly to try to finish and collect all of those items because they are really good. Are they? Hi, my name is Abel, and I'm going to show you how. Welcome back. So yeah, the Great Underwater Challenge event offers or you have the opportunity to collect many items. And from my experience, challenge events are quite rewarding. I mean, like the amount of time you put in, and if you were to spend some real cash in it as well, um, the returns are actually quite good. Now let's head on to graph and then we see look at the items that are being offered. I guess for this video what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about the event items and how good they are. I have actually tried using them in my squad. I've used them not just like once, twice, and that's it. I feel it is yucky or it doesn't suit me and then I just shove it aside. No, I didn't do that, but I've actually tested them to a certain extent and found that certain items do work very well for my squad. So I guess in this video I'm gonna offer you my personal opinion on which items are good, which items are not so good, which items which are just really bad. Fortunately, there isn't any items that are that really bad. It's just that perhaps I haven't found the combo or the synergy to it, how it fits well into my squad. So we will not be talking about the other items. We are only going to talk about the event items like the event gears that you can use for your squad, not the hero aesthetics, that kind of thing. So yeah, so I believe there are 3 weapons, 3 armors, there is a ring, there's an amulet, there is an artifact. Yes, I've gotten them all, and like most events, sad to say that I finished the event the moment or kind of like shortly after the event was launched. I guess I'm just impatient, so I try my best to secure all the items and then I try to start building my new squad around those items that I've secured. So I would be able to test it out to a certain extent and give you my 2 cents or my verdict, my opinion, how good they are. And perhaps at the end of the video I'll also include in snippets on how they perform, how it triggers, and if you are still working your way through trying to obtain these items, maybe it will encourage you or convince you to put in a little more grit to obtain them so that you will not miss this and then you just wish that, oh no, I should have done better, I've just put in a little bit more effort and then I will not be in this state right now in all regret, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's look at the special rewards first. Okay, primarily the weapons. Okay, there are 3 kinds of weapons. One is a staff, the other one is a sword, and then you have a crossbow. Okay, the staff, Terror of the Sea staff, I'm not so impressed by this, to be very honest with you. It says this attacks a 40% chance of cursing the target and the enemies in the area around. So I don't really read very well, that kind of thing. I hate books. Yeah, I do not like reading. Yeah, I'm just being very honest with you. So the moment when I see target, it just stopped and my brains froze and I just couldn't compute. So I actually kind of like ignored the second part of the text, which was very bad, and it led to a bad conclusion on the item itself. But having said so, I didn't just shove it aside and not use it at all, but I did actually try to give it a chance and I replaced the current stuff that my mage was using with this, and true enough, it wasn't so good. Perhaps it was my build, but it just didn't fit into my squad so well. So it says this: if a cursed target has more than 5% health, blah blah blah, takes so much more damage, and if the cursed target has less than 25% health, it could not be resurrected for 7 plus bonus of spell power seconds. So from what I see, it only affects one target, and that's it. So the target and the enemies in the area around. So the thing about item tags like these, in the area around, how big is the area? How many rows are we talking? I mean, like if you were to take tank occupying one row, mages the second row, and then you have archers the third row. So how far will it go? And when it lands, if it lands on the tank, and then will it affect the archers as well? I don't think so, right? Because if it affects the archers as well, it will be quite imbar. So yeah, so I think at most it will just affect the mages, maybe one or two of them, that kind of thing. So yeah, and true enough, I've tested this, and I came to a conclusion that this stuff is not as good as the stun stuff that my mage is using. So I've shoved it aside. So this one, if in terms of percentage, I'll only give you like a 40%. So yeah, the sword is a very interesting one. Power of the Sea sword. Now, if the staff had a snippet like this accompanying it, it will give me more confidence that it will happen. The effect works. The effect is good. The effect is amazing, and yeah, it's worth getting. So this sword, I've tested it and it works. It is very impressive. And if you were to compare this sword with the axe from the previous event, from the Phoenix event, let me show you that axe. Axe, where are you? The axe is here. There you go. Phoenix Rage Axe, okay? Even though it says here, when attacking, it has 30% chance to teleport self to 4 random enemies, blah blah blah. But when I tested it, the chance of it, triggering was like very low compared to the sword. Even though the sword, the sword, it says here only 17% of triggering chance. But I guess it's because of the weapon type, because this is a sword, it has a normal attack speed compared to an axe, which has a very slow attack speed. So even though the figure here is 30%, there's only 17. So I guess if you were to balance it out, the sword actually triggers or activates much more often than the axe. Well, that's based on my experience. For your experience, it may be different. Like I say, all this is really it all relies on how you build your squad, and then what you emphasize on your squad, that kind of thing. But when I used this sword and I compare it to the axe, the sword was more consistent, more reliable, and I really like it because it heals as well. So it's not that bad. So it jumps, and then you have also the snippet that came with the sword to convince you that it works. So yeah, and on top of that, it does this: when attacking, the sword has 70% chance, okay, teleport itself amidst enemies and dealing 6,000 splash damage, stunning nearby enemies. So it deals damage and it stuns as well. So it's a very good sword. You must get this, okay? So yeah, that's a sword. Now the crossbow is also very interesting. It comes with a snippet as well. I wonder why didn't they make a snippet to go with the staff? I mean, it would help sell the item, right? I mean, yeah, it's good publicity, good advertisement, that kind of thing. So what it says on the crossbow is this: attacks have 25% chance of stunning the enemy for 3 seconds and dealing a huge damage over 3 seconds. So 3 seconds, this damage is like around 12 to 13,000 per second. Now if the enemy is killed during that period, summons a minion, this chest thingy, that stuns the enemy for a short time with each hit. Okay, so every hit it stuns, and hey, you're moving. Okay, so it stuns, and you move. Or maybe because the minion died, so that the stun doesn't like work anymore, that kind of thing. So it died, and then yeah, the effect ended, that kind of thing. So but anyway, the sword is good. No, sorry, the crossbow is good. You must get it because this snippet is only showing you the least of its potential. I have had battles before whereby the squad area of my enemy or my opponent was filled with this fella, and there were like 5-6 of them. So yeah, it is overwhelming. So you must get this crossbow as well. It's good, it's really good. So yeah, now moving on, the mage armor. It says this: once unit is killed, resurrects a random ally with so much HP plus bonus or spell power. So I guess even with the base value, it's quite good. Okay, 38,000 is actually quite a lot compared to a normal resurrection staff, one weapon, that kind of thing. So basically this is like trading one life for another. But if you were to push it further, this effect might not just end there, because it doesn't say like, you know, this ability only activates once per battle. No, it didn't say that. It only says the ability cannot resurrect the outfit wearer. So if you pair this with another resurrection mage, when the mage who is using this armor dies, the rest mage could perhaps rest this fella up, and there's a chain reaction to it. So yeah, it's not too bad. So if upon 100, I'll give this like 70%. So yeah, not too bad. Okay, now the tank armor is quite good. Okay, it says this: when the unit's health is critically low, yet again it's very vague. Okay, it doesn't say how many percent, that kind of thing. So makes the unit invulnerable to debuffs. Now debuffs can be a lot of things, like it could be silence, it could be stun, it could be mind control, it could be curse, just to name a few. Okay, for 6 seconds. 6 seconds is very long. And for those of you who are at TR9 or TR10, I guess, yeah, TR9, TR10, some battles do last like 6 seconds. So if this triggers, basically that's the whole battle. So yeah, it lasts throughout the battle. But of course, if it triggers when your tank is at low health, that kind of thing, and stuns nearby enemies for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's quite a long time. So yes, this armor is good. You should get this as well. I rate this at 85-ish to 90%. Okay, next we have the archer armor. Okay, it says each hit steals 6% of target's max health and 6% of its damage. So can you imagine if your archer is hitting on your opponent's tank? So yeah, 6% of target's max health is quite a lot. So this is not too bad. But being very honest with you, I'm not like paid much attention to this armor in action. So yeah, I think it's quite good, and I will give it easily a 70 or 80%, that kind of thing. So get this as well. I'm using it on my main archer, and it has been very good paired with the crossbow. Like I said, at the end of this video, I'll include in snippets of some of the battles that I had with using some of these armors or these equipments, event equipments, and they are just so good. So yeah, hopefully it helps you to give you that a little bit push or encouragement to collecting them. Okay, so yeah, now we also have a ring. Okay, the ring that says this strengthens the wearer based on what is happening on the battlefield. Okay, I'm using this ring on my main archer, and I guess it has been good. Yet again, I've not like scrutinized it in taking effect, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's good because of the text and the figures that are being shown. Okay, so yeah, it's good. 70-80%. Well, it's much better than your normal ring, right? Even though it doesn't give you dodge or crit, that kind of thing, but the damage itself and the health would be quite good already. And then but then you're still not looking at the slots that that may come with it. So this ring is very good. Star of the Seas ring get it. Okay, the Amulet. Okay, now this is very scenario based. I mean, it all depends on how you use it. Yes, it's health, it's armor, and it says this increases unit resurrection efficiency by 40%. I guess what this line says is this: when the unit that is wearing this amulet gets resurrected, it gets another 40% of the amount that is being healed. So if the rest mage that is resurrecting this guy who is dead with this amulet on, let's say the resurrection power is only like 10,000 health, so you get another 4,000 health, that kind of thing. So this is my assumption. Okay, now on top of that it says this: once resurrected, the unit deals 34,000 splash damage. Now this is very interesting, because try using it on the poison mage. Send the poison mage into the heart or the crux of your opponent's squad, and then let that poison mage die, and then get him resurrected, and boom, additional damage. I think this is good damage to everyone around it. So yeah, this is also a must to get as well. And last but not least, the artifact. Now it's sad to say that not all artifacts are good, not all event artifacts are good, but this one in particular, it is good because I've seen it in action many times, because once it triggers, it has the water droplet visual on screen. I'll show you in the snippet later on, and then you decide for yourself how consistent this artifact is. Even though it says once in a while, okay, it talks about like imbues the weapons of 4 random allies. Now I like effects like this whereby it is fixed. Okay, if it says 4 is 4, it's not 2 to 4, 1 to 4, up to 4, that kind of thing. It says 4. That means if you're running a 6-man team, 6-man squad, 60% of them will get imbued with this effect, and it's good. Okay, and it says that fires a shot. Okay, even though it's only one shot, but it deals so much damage. Okay, come on, you look at your unit, each member of in your squad, and I mean how many of them actually deal that much of damage, that kind of thing. So yeah, 2 more random enemies deal 17 damage to those enemies and the main target. Okay, remove buffs and so forth. So yes, I'm using this artifact on above or over the tentacles artifact. In fact, this tentacles artifact has been quite disappointing. On text, it looks quite amazing because 2 to 4 enemies, okay, strip, loses 45% of armor status, can use armor for 6 seconds, blah. But as I look at it closer, 2 to 4, it is very risky compared to the tenacious assistant. It says 4. Okay, like I said earlier, it all depends on your squad's strategy, your build. So I found, in my personal opinion, that this crap is not crap. This crap is really a crap. Okay, so yeah, it works, and it works very well for me. So tenacious assistant, get it. So out of the 1 2 3 6 here plus 3, out of the 9 items, I will highly recommend you to get 6 to 7 of them. You should get the sword, you should get the crossbow, maybe the mage armor, definitely the tank armor, maybe the archer armor, definitely the ring, definitely the amulet, and definitely the artifact. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video and have given you a better idea on what to expect based on the snippets that I'll be including right after this video. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Happy hustling, and hope you finish them all the items at the end of the event. You still have how many more days? 14 days to go, so it's not too late to start grinding. All the best and stay safe, and yeah, see you in the next video. See ya.